Hello. This is Sierra Loren Favreau interviewing with Christopher Whalen on July 3rd. Tomorrow's July 4th. Hope you are going to be safe.
On 102.1 FM.
No, this is not 1021 FM. This is 99.4.
My name is Sierra Loren. I've been modeling for 13 years now. I'm a Dallas-based model. I've had experiences traveling around the world, which has been very nice. I've learned some great life experiences, but I am definitely based here in Dallas.
Is beauty important in modeling?
Beauty is important in modeling. I would have to agree with that.
Would you like to elaborate why modeling is important?
What is beauty to Sierra? Beauty to Sierra beauty to me is about embracing confidence. And what I love about beauty is there's no way to define it. It's about beauty can be found in anything. It can be found in the most simplest thing. It can be found in an example like I know a lot of agencies look for is a very geometrical features. Agencies look for geometrical features. They look for certain stats like height and, fresh skin. I mean, there's different things that you can pinpoint, but I feel that we need to stay away from that focus of being so specific in those areas and really focus on, the fact that beauty is about that confidence, wearing that confidence, feeling secure and feeling, really that you love everything about yourself. And when you are able to embody that sometimes transforms on the camera. And I feel that one thing that I find very beautiful with any type of model or human is the fact that let's say you're taking a photo, and if you can make someone feel something from that photo, whether it's raw, organic, candid shot, an editorial, commercial, whatever it may be, it's being able to have your audience feel something, and that is a beautiful quality as well. I get asked this question a lot. I started when I was 15, and I actually was pretty hesitant about it. I didn't really have an interest. I was super shy, very shy girl, and more into sports. And my grandmother and mother modeled, so they were always, putting it in the back of my head. Oh, you should model. You're really tall and thin, and we feel that you would really like it, and we did it, and blah 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 blah. And you don't really listen to your parents. But as I started to hear it from other people and ask me about if I model, it starts to stick after some time. So I started to grow. I feel like that was the seed that was planted. And then I turned down a track scholarship, and I needed to find a way to pay for a lot of my schooling, and I figured I could do that through modeling. So it's just kind of the perfect timing. I did get scouted by a lady who trains models and places them with agencies. So about 16, I got signed to my first agency, but definitely had my mother pushing the interest of it. And then I got started a year after, and I would say that it's really helped me break out of that shyness and that comfort zone. So very excited and thankful that I did decide to move forward with it in the industry. Absolutely, I would have to agree with that, being a testimony myself. It does allow you to push yourself outside of comfort zones. And why are you looking at me like? Such as right now, I actually get more shy if I know the person behind the camera versus going into a room full of people that I don't know. But the transition is, when I first started, I was so shy. I didn't like conversation. I would really bottle up, and I was very introverted. And as I went through different experiences like casting calls and runway walks in front of people and auditioning in front of a room and being in front of the camera and pleasing, the client and doing the job well, it really helped me channel that shyness factor, and I was able to really grow from each experience. And it all became, as I completed each job, I felt like it became second nature. I got a little bit more comfortable each time, and so after a while, I just felt like I completely left that old me behind, that shy girl, and was able to talk to people, network, hold conversations, take on any job, regardless if I knew all the details, because I always felt like, based off of the industry, it allowed me to adapt, to improv, and just be able to, be a part of different experiences without being worried I'm too shy, and just go with the flow. So yes, I would have to say 100% it does put you in situations that will force you to jump outside of your comfort zone and learn how to channel your shyness.
Building upon the shyness, when you're in front of the camera and you are a little bit shy, where does your mind go to get you ready for the shoot?
It goes to hell. No. We're human, so our minds can race to many different places. I think the most important thing is to keep it in a positive perspective and really focus on what the motive and the end goal is. Focus on those confident factors. Focus on, feeling that you're there for a reason. If, let's say, you're at a job and you're starting to get pretty shy, or if the client is a little bit demanding and you're not 100% comfortable yet, or whatever those factors may be, it's really pushing yourself to redirect your thoughts and focus on, the things that you love about yourself, and know that you are good enough, and just be yourself. I think that's such an important thing, is to be yourself. So try and learn how to breathe deep, breathe in, and not focus on the negative things, and just really keep in mind that end goal, and whatever that may be, just keep your focus there.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I would say, from a model's perspective, what makes it easier working with a photographer is definitely getting an idea of a mood board, or understanding the concept before showing up at the shoot. Just really being communicative and making sure that you both are on the same page of what you want and where the shoot's going. Mood boards are definitely helpful for me. I always request like inspirational photos or mood boards, so I can understand, okay, what lighting, what aesthetic, or what mood are we going for? What's the vibe of the shoot? So then I can prepare to become that person showing up. And so I like for that. Now, at the day of the shoot, obviously being organized is a huge thing. Punctuality, I mean, those are things that just come with, with being a professional. But given the fact that if you all are on the same page, if things are running smoothly, if it's organized, if you have a stylist, if you get enough sleep the night before, if you have, food in your system or snacks there, all of that obviously is an addition, of a bonus. But making sure, I think that the most important thing is understanding what you're doing before you get there, and being prepared, getting there on time, and then everyone is on the same page as far as concept, vibe, whatever it may be. You're organized, and you have the key components like a stylist, a makeup artist, your wardrobe, and your photographer and the model there at the same time, ready to shoot. Yes, I would have to agree that modeling is acting, acting is modeling. I feel that, yes, you can get into specifics, and obviously there are different categories, different markets. I mean, as a model, when you show up on set, or when you're booked out for a job, right? And there's a specific character, role, or person you have to play, you're still acting at the end of the day. You're still, having to sell that role, that confidence, sell the product, the lifestyle of a product, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, you're always acting. You're there to adapt and become. The objective is to, obviously, I don't know, it can be to sell a product, or it can be to help the story of the art director or that client come to life. So you are that person behind the camera that is, well, not behind the camera, in front of the camera, that needs to become that role, that character, and make the story come to life, to make it sellable, to make it relatable. So it's always going to be you acting as some type of character. So I would definitely have to say yes. Obviously, again, there are very different markets. If you become a full-time actor, then yes, you're going to learn different things than you would opposed to in your modeling career, vice versa. But you're always acting. I was going to say that acting does not have to be always a speaking role. It can be your body language. It can be, hand gestures or emotion, expression. So at the end of the day, it is evident that they both go hand in hand. I get ready by reviewing those necessary things, like making sure you have everything the day before, not the night, the day before, and those mood boards, just really paying attention to, the story behind it. I feel that as far as boosting my confidence up, I play a lot of like upbeat music. I feel that really helps me. Making sure that my mind is in a positive place, that I'm really embracing my confidence and focusing on that. If there is some type of acting or character, role that I have to play, sometimes I will go in front of the mirror and kind of like just reassure myself that it's looking appropriate or that, I'm feeling good about it. And so I'll kind of act something out, but it's just about preparation and really making sure that your mindset is in a place where you're embodying your confidence. And one thing that helps me is playing some pretty ratchet music. Playing some upbeat, like, house music that helps me get in the zone. It's nice to work with a photographer that comes with their own team, like a makeup artist, a stylist. I personally do not like styling my own shoots. I really don't like it because, for one, I have a lot of clothes and I don't know where to begin. And for two, I don't know exactly what is this, like, let's say there's no stylist. That's not my role. I'm a model, right? So I feel that that's not my strong suit to be able to style myself. Now, obviously I've been in the industry for a long time, so I have picked up on some tips, what works well for my body shape, but I definitely can manage. I just prefer for there to be a stylist because they have a whole different eye. They know what's trending. They know, they work hand in hand with the creative director or the photographer. And so the less that I have to worry about is better as the model. I can show up, deliver and do the job well. And I don't really want to worry about, hair and makeup. Did I do it right? Did I bring this shade of lipstick? Did I forget my jeans? What did I bring? It's not really pairing well. I just don't want to worry about those things. So personally, I love to be styled. It depends on where your career is currently. If you feel that you've already started a name for yourself and you have enough clients to be sufficient or be creating the income goals that you want, I would say, stick to freelance, because then you don't really have ties to anyone and you're able to negotiate your own rates, you're able to manage your own career. So it depends on if you have that audience and clientele. The pro and con to freelance would be you may not be able to put yourself in a network with those high-end or big brand names, because a lot of times agencies have those connections already set in place with, again, like big name companies, whatever, JCPenney's, Nordstrom's, Frito-Lay, whatever it may be, Mary Kay. So it just, again, a pro and con to think about. But then when you do get signed to an agency, they are managing your career and you are in a contract. And you need to understand the term of that contract, your limitations. So again, it just depends. If you're in a developing stage as a model and you feel that you don't know much about the industry and you are getting into it and there's a lot for you to still learn, I would say go the agency route. That would be my recommendation, because they are going to help guide you a little bit and put you into situations and working with different clients that will allow you to grow from it. So I just liked posting a lot of content of me like posing, and I still follow Coco Rocha. I feel like she's obviously an icon and a great model inspiration. So I went through this phase where I was really into like angles and exaggerated angles, editorial looks, and just making sure that I could be very versatile and hit, all these fun, cool, funky poses. And so I started to get a lot of DMs from girls that were like, hey, oh my gosh, I love your posing. Can you teach me? And this was when I was like in my very early 20s. And then I knew a designer. So I started doing my own thing a little bit, just kind of teaching like a private class, right? Or a private lesson. And then I knew this designer, Ruby Bendari, who actually introduced me to Estella Treviso, who owns Bella Modeling School. And so they were actually hiring for instructors. So I was able to kind of get in as, I guess, in the beginning time of Bella Modeling, so that as they were starting up, and just kind of help develop with them. And I started teaching classes, which I grew from that experience. And now the school is doing really well. It's still operating. It's still killing it. So shout out to Bella Modeling. However, I stayed with them for about, maybe like 4 years. And as the classes grew bigger and as I started to get more experience with working with students, I realized that it's not just me teaching them, they were teaching me as well. So it was really cool to see the development of each student and the confidence, and really help them understand, you know, the angles in front of the camera and how to push themselves, how to, you know, understand each market, and how to be comfortable with your posing, and just kind of, you know, have fun and dance on set, and just give them tips to help further them in their career. So what I look for a student is a student that is adaptable, a student that is willing to learn and to show up, to invest their time and to take it seriously, because there is a lot to learn. It's not just about being a pretty face in front of the camera. I don't know why I keep saying behind, but in front of the camera. So it's not just about the pretty face. There's so many other components, and I need a student that is willing to learn and that is adaptable, that can push themselves, so that way we can create magic, create art together, and that can help inspire them, hopefully. Well, there's nothing I can say. They have to have it coming in, and so I want to help develop it. I feel that if they're willing to take it seriously, I need to find out their why, on why they're there. So let's say they come to class. It's like, okay, you know, what brought you here today? What is it that you're wanting to learn or to improve? What areas do you want to improve in? So it depends on their story. So if they're there for confidence, and they may not want to necessarily be the top model, then that's a different way to direct them. If they have goals like, hey, I want to start this part-time and have it grow into a full-time job for me, I want to get signed, and if they, you know, fit those requirements, I feel that they have to know their why, and I am going to help bring it out of them, and I'm going to help develop their creativity and their expressions and the things that it takes to become a competitive model. You deal with it with, honestly, you can only be yourself. That's like, I know that's cliche, but you have to, because you cannot sit there and compare with like, oh, this girl has this and she's done this amount of jobs and she's always booked and she has this look or whatever. It cannot, your mind can't go there. I feel that you have to deal with it. Obviously be prepared, have a strong book, and know your market, and do your research on the client before. So if you're going to be working for a brand, check out their website, check out their last ads, see what they're looking for. And so that way you can kind of see what they select, and you have to do your part in research to be prepared. It does not come down to specifics of this model is taller than me, this model looks, you know, better, she gets booked more, because you don't know what that client's, what they are hiring for. You don't know what their specific look may be. And sometimes that's what it comes down to. It comes down to a specific hair color or whatever, things that you cannot control. So you get your mind out from that perspective and really focus in on doing your research and being yourself. That's like 100%. You have to be yourself.
When do you know it's time to get out of modeling?
When you're broke! No, I'm kidding.
Or
Okay.
aged as fuck!
The answer is it is based off of your personal needs, I feel. There are factors. So if you feel you aren't getting booked, or if you feel your career is taking you to in a new direction, or if you feel that you have a lack of passion, that you're no longer really driven by, you know, the industry, and you feel that you're not putting yourself 100%, and you feel it's time for a transition, then by all means it may be time to get out of modeling. But there is no, that's something you have to answer for yourself. And if I ever cross that path, I would have to, you know, ask myself certain questions on, you know, where does my passion lay? And if I'm not investing myself in modeling, then I would feel, okay, maybe it is time for a transition, or if another opportunity presents itself. But I can't be the person to answer that. But those are the things I would think about, given the fact that, you know, if I hit that phase in life, those questions would run through my head specifically.
Favorite brand and why?
Chanel! It's classy! No. Actually, yeah, I like Chanel. It's just classy, chic, and I usually love French designers. I love quality. I always get, like, I have this one friend that kind of teases me a little bit on, like, why do you like designer stuff? Why do you care? And it's like, I'm not buying it so you like it. I'm buying it because I like it. And it is an investment. Sometimes it's nice to invest in quality pieces that will last you a long time. So as I've learned about fashion and modeling, and I've developed, a love for fashion, I feel that my interest in designers have grown. But I think what you want to stay away from, given the fact that I said my favorite designer is Chanel, don't buy things because it's trending or because other people have it and you want to fit in with, whatever is popular at the moment, but buy things because it fits your body well, or it's an investment piece or something that really speaks to you, or that you feel you can get multiple use out of. And I just feel like Chanel is just one of those it's a very simple, I love simplicity, I love neutral color palettes and tones. But to me it's just classy and timeless. So at 18 I moved to Miami. It was the first time I was away from home, and I didn't feel scared though. I didn't feel intimidated either. I felt like more of it's an adventure, and I have no expectations, so let's just see what happens. So I moved out there and I went and stayed in a model home that my friend had set me up with, and actually we both stayed there together, and it was in right on the beach. It was so fun, and I just felt like I learned a lot from that experience, being out on my own, having to manage my own money, put myself out there, network and meet new people, understand a new market I knew nothing about. I literally just bought my ticket and was like, okay, I'm showing up, where am I staying, and can you introduce me to anybody, where should I start? And I brought my Dallas portfolio, my model book, which was more commercial based. So I did learn that in Miami, I had to incorporate more swimwear and more body shots in my portfolio. So there was a lot that I learned, but I will say that it was such a pleasant experience. And I'll never forget the summers and the winters that we had, because in Miami you shoot things at opposite seasons. So you're shooting your swimwear in the winter or fall, and then vice versa. So I don't know, but that's just typically how it happens. So there was a lot that I felt I picked up on, and grew to learn about the Miami market. And I felt that I wasn't there to necessarily make friends, but I definitely was able to be successful in the time period that I was there, and then experience the beach and modeling and making money and working with a new agency. So I did get signed out there for a year, which was really pleasant and nice. And then I came back to Dallas and decided that Dallas was going to be my home base, and I stayed. That's when I signed on to Campbell Agency and just kind of stuck it out here and went back to school. But yes, Miami was the spot, my favorite spot. I had such a fun time there. Now, advice that I would give to models looking to travel is do your research on what agency you're going to be working with, and reach out to other models that are with that agency. Probably don't go the route I did by being kind of more free spirit about it, and really make sure you have something set up. So if you are currently signed and you want to express to your agency that you want to model in another market, give them a heads up. They're going to tell you that they'll set up go-sees, hopefully, and you should give them a 2-week notice, so that way they can set up interviews for when you arrive to the place wherever you're going, right? So you definitely want to give them a heads up so they can set something up for you. Now, once you have your go-sees, or let's say you do it, you want to find out the details, like if room and board is covered, airfare. I don't know if you're going to be booked directly by an agency or for a specific job, but those are questions you'd want to find out, and just prepare yourself ahead of time. Definitely make sure you have enough money to travel and support yourself in case emergencies, in case you didn't get, the bookings that were guaranteed, and you were able to, survive. But know who you're working with, speak to other models, research clients, figure out, their experience and how things are going. And then if you are able to lean on your agency, make sure that they help you out with the process. Or if you are more like me and you want my approach, trust your gut, trust your intuition, and make sure that maybe you're getting some referrals or recommendations from people that you trust before going somewhere.
Your favorite location that you love to visit?
Oh, I love Paris.
For what reason?
I love France. I love the food. They have such good vegan food too. I love the designers. I love designers. I love everything about it. I love that when I'm there, I feel like I'm on an adventure every street I walk down, and I just feel like it's romantic. and there's beautiful. I don't just go for the Eiffel Tower. I'm not like in such a touristy mindset. I mean, there's countryside, parts of France that are beautiful. There's a lot of places I still want to check out. There's one spot that was, I guess, I don't know the name of it, but it is a city in France that they kind of tied Beauty and the Beast, like that time era around. I'm not really familiar with the name. I have to look it up. But I would definitely love to check out some spots that are more in villages and less like downtown of Paris. But Paris has just been a place that has kind of felt homey, and I've had an interest to personally live and get to know, you know, the language and the culture a little bit better. I would have to go. I had a pleasure working with you, Christopher Whalen, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sierra Loren.